Good morning, everyone. Hey, 1 minute late. That's not too bad for me. I'm coming back from the West Coast right now, so for me, it's a little bit earlier than normal. But I am here. I'm awake. I'm excited to get started. I'm going to just pull up a couple of notes on my computer today because today we are going to talk about what it is that's holding you back in your singing. And most importantly, we're actually going to be working with some real folks today, which I am super excited about. I always am. We always learn so much in working with other people and listening to other people. It's one thing to just hear me natter on and on and on about stuff, but to actually see it happen with other people, I think is absolutely crucial. And so I'm just making up my notes here so that I can actually invite you guys, which would be nice. Let's see. Okay, cool. This should work. Okay. Just posted the link. Go ahead and join me live right now, right here, right now. Um, and we're going to figure out what's holding you back in your voice. Now, before we do that, I have a very, very special announcement, which I'll be ready to share in probably 15 seconds. But until then, let me know what song you're working on right now. What are you excited to sing? What are you interested in right now? What's holding you back? Or, what's a song that you've always wanted to sing but have never been able to? Go ahead and drop that in the chat. I'd love to hear from you guys. Just clicking around on this little screen, and I had too many links. Let's see. Does anyone know that song that I was just singing? I might be aging myself here. It's a little song from the 90s. Let's see if this works. Yes, this should work. Hmm. Okay, cool. I think I'm finally ready to share the news. The news is that we only open up "Hi guys, hi guys." Oh, you're a beginner. You just started music theory class. That's fantastic. I see that we've already got some people that are hanging out in the chat. Let me see if I can fix my hair here. Um, just got out of the shower as I was doing my warm ups in the shower, as you always should. Um, you want to know about head voice and chest voice? Well, I'm gonna do my quick announcement and then I'm going to answer you. So, what I'm very, very excited to share with you guys today is that only a few times a year do we open enrollment for my complete and interactive singing course called Master Your Voice. Now, what makes Master Your Voice so special and completely different from any other course out there is that I offer personal feedback, instant personal feedback based on what I'm hearing you do. So, as soon as you enroll, you send in a quick recording of yourself singing, and I get back to you with a detailed 7 to 12 minute video talking about everything that I'm hearing. Everything that I hear that you need to improve in your voice. And then I give you a custom roadmap, a worksheet, if you will, about exactly what you need to work on in what order. And then, of course, you also have access to the completely pre recorded video library. So that's 62 HD video lessons, 42 individual audio warm ups. So many goodies in there. And what's really, really fantastic about this process, I think, is that most singing courses out there that I see, they've got one or the other. They're either pre-recorded completely or they're just like kind of endless Facebook lives, which depending on your learning style, both can work. But this is a hybrid, and I'm very, very excited about it because you don't necessarily need to spend thousands of dollars on lessons with me if I can just kind of point you in the right direction and show you which way that you need to be headed. And then you can go ahead and do some of the work on your own, and then you can come back to me when you have a big audition, or you're going to go and rehearse with a band, or you have a big show coming up. That is a fantastic opportunity to use it. And you can get enrolled right now. We're only going to leave it open for the first 50 students that sign up. And the reason that we do that is because of the amount of personal feedback that's featured in the course is just outstanding. As I mentioned, everybody that enrolls will get a 7 to 12 minute personalized video recording with me, showing them exactly what's holding them back and how to fix it. And that's just the beginning. There are also several checkpoints throughout the course to make sure that you're still improving and moving towards your goals. Okay, so that's the big news that is open right now today. But remember, we're only accepting 50 students because of the insane amount of personal feedback that's in there. And that is going to close no matter what, as soon as we get to 50 or by next Saturday, whichever one comes first. All right, so let's talk about chest voice and head voice. Now, I have dropped the link in the chat to go ahead and join me to find out what's holding you back. And I saw that somebody joined and their devices were not working. Now, just a quick couple of rules, guys. If you want to join to get your free mini lesson live with me, just a couple of quick notes. Number one, you have to enable your camera, you have to enable your microphone, and you must have good internet. I need all three of those things just to make it so that everybody can see, everybody can hear you, and everybody's feeling good about, and we're all agreeing on what we hear and what we see. That's very, very important. Okay, great. So I want to learn about the difference between the chest voice and the head voice. Okay, so here's what you need to know. Let's see. Is it subharse? Supasre? Maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong, but tell me how I'm wrong. Okay, so chest voice is the name. It's kind of an old term. It's not necessarily. It is used today, but it's not a scientific term because we know a lot more about the voice. Quick fun fact: modern voice science and research only dates back a couple hundred years, and really we've made most of the discoveries in vocal science really in the last 20 to 30 years, in ways that we've pioneered things that can go and look at your throat so that we can actually see the vocal cords vibrating, because obviously it's a very difficult place to see. Um, so, in with older terms like chest voice and head voice, they're very, very useful concepts. And basically, chest voice is the name that's given to notes in the bottom part of the voice, the range at the bottom. So, like the that sound of that that very full kind of lower note sound, compared to head voice, which would be which would be more the notes in the top part of the voice. Now, the goal, of course, of all of vocal training is not to have that big break so that it's just we don't want to have those breaks in the voice for several reasons. And a lot of good reasons. The first one is that it sounds kind of silly. Let me see if I can fix my hair a little bit. The first one is that it sounds kind of silly to have that big break there, unless you do that on purpose. So like that, a thick plastic earth. Like I'm looking at, Tom York, for instance, like who breaks on purpose all the time. Lots of singers do this. And it's okay if that is done as a kind of as a vocal effect or as a choice or a color or a texture in your singing. However, if it's happening automatically, that might be something that you want to look at, because what we really, really want is one smooth transition from bottom to top so that it doesn't sound like there's any big breaks or strain in your voice. Hello, Lisa. I can't wait to hang out with you. And guys, just a quick reminder, please join me live here right now if you're interested in getting a little free mini lesson. Let's see. I had one other question up here that I wanted to answer first. Let's see. I'm learning to sing. I'm learning the basics of scales now to help me learn to sing again. I didn't know I had ADHD when I took singing lessons. Fair enough. Fair enough, Carissa. Yeah, and it's really what I think Carissa's pointing out uh, really well is that everybody has a different learning style. And unlike a more traditional instrument like guitar or piano or something like that, the voice is not so much about how it sounds or how it looks to you. Now, let me clarify that. It's not so much how it sounds or looks to you, because I think we all know that actually singing feels and sounds different to you than it does to other people. And that's why it's so important to have different styles of teaching and different teachers out there and different ways of describing some of these same things. So, like, for instance, we were talking about chest voice and head voice a minute ago. That's a great place to get started, because, those terms are very old, but a lot of people have found them helpful, both in terms of kind of like what they symbolize, like what they sound like. And a lot of people feel resonance in their chest when they're singing in chest voice. And so they're useful terms, even if they're not totally scientifically proven. All right, Lisa, I would love to have you on for a couple of minutes. Can you go ahead and just give me 2 thumbs up if you're ready to come on? Awesome. Okay, great. I'm going to add you to the stream. Hey,
Okay, one second. I have to move
might have to move aside a little
so you can see me.
actually singing.
Just
There you go.
a second.
And that's why it's so important to have different styles of teaching. Lisa, I have one other idea.
Hang on a second.
Maybe you could move the computer
Go this
camera
way.
slightly to be more on you.
Hang on a second. I don't know why you can't see me.
Oh, it's just because of the way that
Hang
the
on a second. I
yeah,
can
it
hear
kind of
some
like
more
skews to
talking
the left.
from you, but I don't know why I hear two things at the same time. Okay,
That's okay. That's okay.
hang on a second.
Go ahead and center yourself, and I'll bring you back on in just a second. Hey, Mateo, how you doing? Good. You ready to come on, sir? Give me 2 thumbs up if so. Awesome. Okay, great. What's up, man?
Hey,
How's it going?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Where in the world are you?
I'm in Italy,
In
near Milan.
Italia.
Yeah.
Che parte?
Near Milan, in the north.
Ah, vicino a Milano. Va bene,
Yeah.
va bene.
Capisci un
Awesome.
po'.
See? Va bene. Now, tell me a little bit about you and singing, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I've been singing for about a year, kind of consistently. And yeah, just I've been trying to improve especially my breathing and
Okay.
my projection also.
Okay, great.
And that's what I think I'm struggling the most with. But
I see.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the theme of today, and I don't know if this is going to be applicable to you, Mateo, but the theme of today is that we're going to be talking about the biggest thing that's holding people back. And the reason that I wanted to talk about that is because it's not always what we think it is. A lot of people hear the symptom, but they don't hear the disease. And here's what I mean by that. Like, I come in with like a little bit of like a cough or a headache or something like that. And so I start taking some medicine for the cough or the headache. But really, I didn't realize I have allergies. Those allergies are creating the cough and the headache. And so I see the same thing with singers all the time, is that they think it's, oh, it's my breath control, or it's my low notes, or it's my falsetto, or it's my vibrato. Those are all the symptoms. Those are all the things that we hear, but it will be interesting to kind of dive in and actually find out what it is deeper, that we need to look at, in
Sure.
your singing. Awesome. So, have you been working with anyone, Mateo, or just self-taught?
Both actually.
Cool, cool, cool.
So
And
I'm taking lessons and also, of course, practicing by myself.
perfect. And who have you been taking with in Italy? Just or are they abroad?
No, here in Italy, yeah.
Great, great, great. Yeah, in Italy they tend to be very big on classical training. Is that kind of the training that you've been doing?
No, more contemporary music,
Oh,
pop.
great.
Yeah,
Great. Awesome. Very, very cool. Well, let's have a listen together, shall we? Why don't you
sure.
I'm just going to have you sing a really simple scale just to get a feel for your range and your voice. So you're just going to sing ah.
Ah, ah,
Nice.
ah, 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 ah,
Good.
ah, ah,
And last one, Mateo.
ah, ah.
No worries, dude. I had to make you do that. I had to. I had to. And the reason that I did that was because I think a lot of people that listen to you would say, "Oh, he had that big break in the top of his voice. He had that falsetto. He had that switch between his chest voice and his head voice." But what was so important to me to note is that before you even got up to those higher notes, you were really straining quite a bit. And what we would say is you were singing with a lot of chest voice. You were basically pulling up your chest voice, voce di petto.
Mhm.
You were basically pulling that up into the head voice range. Now, why is that bad? Well, because by the time you got to around a D4, you were really, really straining for that. Ah, ah, ah. So to me, and you can hear that that's going a little
Mhm.
flat, it's
Yeah.
a little wide, it's a little strainy. So to me, it's not even that you're lacking in any breath control or that you're lacking any power. You have tons of power. You have tons of breath control. I mean, your vocal cords are smacked together so tight, they're converting so much energy of that breath pressure into sound that actually we need to relax them a little bit. We need to get them
Yeah.
to just chill a little bit more. Does that make sense? Can you tell me how
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sounds?
Yeah. Absolutely.
By the
Because
way, I'm listening. I just have to pop off screen for 1 second, but I can hear you.
okay. Yeah. I notice when I go higher because I actually don't struggle at all going very high, but I always have to find that I always struggle with mixing my voice with between my chest voice and my head voice. So I try to push it up maybe a little bit too much, and
Yeah.
of course yeah, it breaks.
It's the Italian way. You come from a culture of very, very strong, powerful singers, right? But at the same time, we also want to make sure because you sing pop, and that's very, very much influenced by that same older style. It's just done in a slightly different way. We just have to make sure that it's still done with balance. So I'm going to give you some crazy exercises. You know me. So let's just go. Have you heard this scale before?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
2 fingers, please. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but rather than still keep that feeling like you're uh. Can you hear the
quite
difference?
quite a bit nasal.
Not more nasal. You were pulling your tongue back. You were going
Okay.
and I want that tongue forward. Uh, good, but at the same time, try not to push it. Here's mine one more time. Yes, dude. That's It's okay. Do it again. Try to make that feel the same way the last one felt. It's not. It's not nasal. It's just more forward. You know what, though, Mateo? That's better. That's better.
Okay.
Yeah. So rather than or you're kind of toggling back and forth a little bit, and I'm fine with that. Keep moving. You're doing great. Va bene, perfetto. Molto bene. Dude, awesome. Dude, I'm going to be a little picky here. Watch your third note rather than. Can you hear the difference?
Yeah.
Puoi ascoltare la differenza? I haven't spoken Italian in so long. Oh my God, I'm so rusty in my Italian. You're going to teach me, Matteo. You're going to teach me today. Go. Yeah, we have to watch the way down too. So rather than, that's one problem. But the other problem is, so that's the other problem. We need both. Focus on both, Matteo. Migliore. Yeah, dude. Now, Matteo, do you consider yourself a baritone or a bass?
I don't know, to be honest, because as I said, I can go pretty high. I don't find it hard, but of course my voice is quite low, so I wouldn't know what to say.
No, it's a great question. People in the chat, what do you guys think Matteo is? Do you think that he's a bass or a baritone? And the reason that I ask whether you have a certain perspective on that, Matteo, is because a lot of people who are watching this, and I'm glad that you're not like this, but a lot of people watching this will say, "Oh wow, he's a really low voice. There's no way that he can hit high notes." But I just brought you up to an F5. I mean, like crazy high notes. Now it's on a lip trill. But at the same time, I think that a lot of people that are watching this have this perception that a lower voice, like a baritone or a bass, they can't sing high notes. And that's obviously not true with you. Obviously it's not. And I think a lot of people use that as an excuse to be like, oh, I'm a low voice. I don't need to learn how to sing high notes. I'm not trying to be Bruno Mars over here. But what's so cool about what you're doing, Matteo, is that if you're a bass or a baritone, and I would call you more of a baritone just based on what I've heard so far. That's not set in stone. We made all that stuff up hundreds of years ago, so it can change. What I think is so interesting about what you're doing is that even though you're a lower voice type, you're still working on the high notes. Because if you look at... Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, because first of all, it's what I listen to, it's what I like. Yes. And also, it actually comes easier to me, like singing a little bit higher.
Yes, absolutely. So if you look at a singer like John Legend, for instance, one of the things that makes John Legend so great is that he's a baritone that sings up high as well, you know? And so it's not like he said, oh, I just sing down here, so I'll just stay down here. No, he has a full access to his range, and that's so important. People in the chat, let me know if that makes sense. Matteo, you and I are going to keep going right here, starting from here. Now, rather than try to give me try to keep that same forward tone. Yeah, but with the lips, Mateo. What I'm trying to demonstrate is the way that I want it to sound behind the lips. So dude, that second one was perfect. Keep going. Good. Try not to let that top note disconnect completely. That feeling. Great. Awesome. Cult of Carissa brings up a good point. She's like, the only reason I'm not picking up this course for 50 students because I know myself and will not learn from the videos or songs. I need personal lessons face to face as connecting is hard. That's a great point, Carissa. So just so you know, and just so everybody here is clear, there is actually personal feedback involved in the course. It's not just like you enroll and then it's just like endless videos that you have to work through on your own. I'm actually there, like guiding you step by step of the way. So great question. And that's exactly what I was hoping was going to happen, was that once you make it through that first passage and you start into your second passage, everything gets easier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, once you get past a certain point, everything gets a lot easier. So that note right there for the people that are following along at home was an A4. That note right there is the start of the male second passage, second bridge, whatever you want to call it. Now for you, Mateo, you were like breaking on each one. And then once you got to the A, you were like, wait a second. You just clicked into something. You locked into something. And so what you and I want to do, Mateo, is we want to stay locked into that feeling and we want to bring that back down with us. Okay? I'm going to bring you up 2 more and then we're going to start walking back down. Good. And just 3 top down is fine. That's it. Good. So it's just 3. It's like top down, top down, top down. Good. I'm going to give you 3 more because this is where things get tough. I want you to keep that same feeling of being on that A and there's no break there as you do here. Good. Okay, do me a favor, Mateo. This is a little bit of a weird vowel. Can you say the English word good, like good job?
Good.
Yeah, very, very good. That's it. That's it. Now, can you go? Good, 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 like good.
Good, 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 good.
Yes.
Good, 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 good.
Don't let it go on you. Good. Yeah, it's good. Good, 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 good.
Good, 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 good.
Perfetto. Sorry, I think
Good,
that's
good, 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 good.
yeah, but don't let it go to good
Yeah,
to the back place.
I always tend to do that
Of course, of
because
course.
it's much easier.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is like once you start finding that mix, Mateo, you're gonna find the mixed voice is easier to do than just going to that head voice. So try to really keep that vowel good and keep it forward, not go pulling it back. Good, good. Good, 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 good.
Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good.
It's okay. I want you to start letting that in. Just don't
Okay.
let it go all the way to
Yeah.
good. Just good, good. Good, 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 good.
Good, 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 good.
Sorry, I
No.
have to be super
Okay.
picky with you, Mateo. Not good, 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 good. Not like guh, like Guh, like we would
Okay.
say in the United States. We would say
Yeah.
like gut, like I've got a big old gut here. Instead, I want good, like good.
Good.
Good, 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 good.
Good, 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 good.
That's it. That's it.
Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good.
Keep that fourth note strong though, please. Rather than go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Good, 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 good.
Do you feel the difference there?
Yeah.
Good. Now, just to be
But
clear, Mateo.
but
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
was saying that now that we're going a little bit higher, it's easier than go.
Certo,
Yeah.
certo. È più facile,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yes, yeah, giusto. Giusto, giusto.
Okay.
Right, right.
Good. I'm trying to remember my Italian with you. Um, especially since we're dressed the same and we have the same name. So you're just the Italian version of me.
Yeah.
Well, I am Italian too, but you're more Italian than I am. Yes, of course it's easier when you go up to the top. And Matteo, I'm just gonna wrap up with you real quick. I'm gonna remove you from the stream. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You got it because I want to get to Blessing too, and Blessing's been waiting very patiently. Blessing, I'll be with you in just a second. Um, so Mateo is really, really smart in that. Oh, Blessing just disappeared. She was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna call on me? I'm out of here." Well, if you guys want to join me, I'll drop the link in here one more time. I get the feeling that Blessing just had a little um, technical error there for a second. So go ahead and click that link, and we'll do a quick mini lesson together. So Mateo was noting that as he went up to the higher notes in his voice, things got easier. Now, I don't know if you guys that are in the chat have felt this before. My guess is that many of you have. And the reason for that is because of resonance and where your voice has its natural resonance centers. Now, I don't want to get into this big drawn out discussion about formants or anything like that. That's not stuff that you probably, as a singer, need to know. But here's the way that I like to describe it. In singing, we have two main resonance spots, and they're kind of lined up like this. If this is like low notes up to high notes, they're kind of like placed in different parts in your voice. Now, if this is the note that you're singing, whenever that note lines up with one of those resonances, your voice gets really happy. Your voice gets a lot of resonance and things feel really, really easy to sing. Now, the problem with that is that once you line up with that, as soon as you pass it, you've got nothing right here. There's no energy that's resonating that note. And that's exactly what Mateo was feeling around then. And if you heard it, my voice started lining up with the second guy. as I started singing higher. So it started off kind of falsetto, kind of light. And then all of a sudden your voice starts to line up with that second one. So the strategy for a singer like Mateo is that we get him to find a place in his voice that has that natural resonance, that has that built-in kind of ease of singing, and then we start to apply that to the different parts of his voice. So we find that place where he's really finding a lot of resonance, and then we start to work on the notes in between that are so tough, and then he's back in his chest voice there. Does that make sense to everyone? That is like maybe the best description of formants that I've ever done. I'd love to know whether that made sense to anybody except for me. I am a little sleep deprived right now, so hopefully it is making sense. All right, awesome. I can't wait to work with some more people. Before I do, I just wanted to mention that today is the very first day of the reopening of Master Your Voice, which is my completely interactive singing course, where you get personal feedback from a 5-star vocal coach as well as a proven system of exercises. So the way that it works is that when you enroll, you actually send in a quick clip of yourself singing something. And by the way, there's no rush on it. Some people do it the day that they enroll. Other people wait 6 months, and that's totally fine. Um, and when I receive your recording, I take it back to my studio, I listen to it, I analyze it, and then I get back to you with a 7 to 12-minute personalized video telling you everything that I hear that is holding you back, and what you need to work on for maximum results. And we call that part the custom roadmap. I actually make you a worksheet of exactly what I want you to work on, as well as the exercises that I want you to work on. Carissa says, are the videos pre-recorded though? So yes and no. As I just mentioned, the video assessment part, I actually record that for you. I send it off to you. It's completely personalized to you and to your own voice. And then in that video, I'll say, hey, by the way, here are 5 exercises or 10 exercises that I really want you to work on for maximum results. And those videos are pre-recorded. That way you don't have to pay a bunch of money for separate lessons with me unless you want to. And I actually do encourage people to get packages that do have lessons, because oftentimes when you start figuring out what's really holding you back in your singing and you start to fix it, you start to do really cool stuff. There's one of my students, Eric Drake, who just had these phenomenal results. I mean, Eric, when he first found me, was a total beginner singer. And man, within a couple of months of working together, he found out what was holding him back in his singing. He knew exactly where he needed to get started. And all of a sudden, he had all this confidence. And so he started going out for musical theater auditions, which he nailed. He actually got cast in a show. He was shocked that he got cast in a show. His first time ever auditioning for something. He was, what else was he in? He was in a TV pilot that's airing now, a bunch of other stuff. And it's just, it's just such an amazing thing when you actually get the personal feedback on what's holding you back, and that gives you so much confidence in terms of how to move forward. Awesome, guys. I cannot wait to see. Wait, how many months was it? My computer lagged. Not sure what you're asking there, Carissa. Now, I'd love to work with one more person, one more folk. That's the only disadvantage to doing these at 9 a.m. is that it seems like people are a little less willing to pop on camera at this time. I might have to uh, do this at a slightly later time. Would it kill anybody if I did these 1 hour later, if I did them at 10 a.m. and maybe I did them one every couple of weeks rather than every single week? Let me know in the chat how you feel about it. Still waking up over here. Big no coffee for singers. It's not a big no. Everybody's different. Everybody reacts differently to different things. But Andre, can you please check my recording and tell me your thoughts? Andre, did you already enroll in Master Your Voice and send in your recording? Because if so, yeah, let me know what email you're at so I can search for your recording. Typically, I'm very, very good about getting back to people within 3 to 5 business days with their complete personalized assessment as well as their custom roadmap. So I'd be surprised if I didn't get to yours already. So let me know if I missed that out somehow, Andre. Carissa's freaking out. She's like, I can't have coffee. Well, so everybody has a different opinion on coffee and the voice. Now, me personally, this is just me personally. I'm very sensitive to caffeine. I'm a high energy guy, as it is anyway, which you can probably see. So I'm sensitive to caffeine in general. And for some people, they can drink a pot of coffee and they're totally fine. Now, I'm just talking about sensitivity to caffeine in general. But if we're talking about coffee specifically, coffee is by its nature quite acidic. In some people, that will actually cause a little bit of reflux or a little bit of mucus buildup in the vocal cords. Things that can make that even worse, adding dairy into your coffee, like real dairy, like cream and stuff like that. Of course, almond milk and stuff like that is probably going to be better for you because your body's not going to have that same reaction to the lactose. And also adding sugar to it can usually make things a little bit more difficult. But I should point out that studies have shown that if you are accustomed to drinking coffee every day, that it really doesn't affect your singing voice. I personally just use it whenever I have a lot to do and I have to get stuff done today. BH says, I feel like I'm holding back on power in my voice. Well, BH, go ahead and pop on camera so I can work with you a little bit. Every week, please. Sometime or later is fine for me. I really appreciate these. I learned so much. One day when I can afford it, I'll be signing up. Awesome. Well, for now, what I think I'll do is I'll probably scoot these back to 10 a.m. And the issue with that is that I have a workshop once a month or sometimes twice a month. And so I'll probably just not do live streams on those days to make sure that the total amount of people that can actually be here can. And that way I don't burn myself out too bad either. By the way, guys, what state do you live in the USA? I live in Austin, Texas. I live in the People's Republic of Austin is what they call Austin because it's its own city within Texas. It's its own place. All right, we got some people jumping in the chat. We've got Bethany, we've got Claudette. Are you guys excited to be on camera? Are you guys interested? Okay. I think Claudette, I think you were first. Claudette, are you okay with coming on camera? Awesome. Okay, great. Cool. And maybe just because I can see you, nobody else can see you yet. Maybe if you can just set your phone down in a place where you don't have to hold it like right up there and maybe on a shelf or a table or something like that. That way you can have your hands free. That's always nice, right? Carissa says, I use oat milk now only. Maybe you have ADHD too. Wow, Carissa. Why? Why would you say that about me? I did for a time during high school, I did take medication for ADD, which was really helpful, but it was really weird. All the side effects were really strange. Like I didn't eat at all. It's basically speed. It's basically just like another version of speed. So yeah, I understand. All right, Claudette, I'm gonna bring you on camera. Hello, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
good,
can you
good.
hear me now? I get over here and all of a sudden the cats start running around.
Oh, of course. Those cats, they know. They just start doing it.
Oh,
All right, Claudette disappeared. Yeah, a lot of people love Austin, that's for sure. Let's see. Marianne said, I lived in Austin for 10 years, but by the time you're 40, you're old there. It's a very young city in a lot of ways. But honestly, I mean, the neighborhood I live in, it's a lot of people like me, people in their 30s. Anyone want to guess how old I am? I just had a birthday. You want to put your guess in the chat. Okay, Claudette's back. Claudette,
sorry.
hello. Don't
Sorry.
be. It's fine. How you doing?
Doing okay.
Good. I'm noticing some an oxygen
yeah.
readings.
That's I suffer from COPD, and that's
that kind of bothers my lungs sometimes. And right now I'm having issues with like the raspiness and stuff. And I thought maybe this would be a good time to try to figure out how to get around it, or how to, because I know when I get high and I come back down, I get a real break right in through in the higher register.
I
So
see.
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And for the people that aren't familiar, COPD stands for chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder. And do you want to just talk about, how that affects you, Claudette? You said you have a break in your voice.
I believe, I'm not an expert at this, so but I believe it's because I can't get enough air sometimes in my lungs that I can't see. Like now, as I start talking and singing and stuff, I start getting short of breath, and
I
it's
see.
and I'm like trying to get enough breath in my lungs so that I know I can sing a longer phrase, a longer note, whatever that is required for. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert. I don't really sing it in any place. I just like to sing for myself and sound good for myself.
Of course. Yeah, we all do, and that's totally fine. Not everybody has to like want to be a famous singer. It's great if that's what you want, but singing is for everyone. Like everyone should be able to enjoy that. Well, let's try something, Claudette. What I'd love to do is I'd love to are you hands-free right now? Are you able to
Yes.
set the phone down? Okay, perfect. Sweet. Great. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm just going to have you sing just a really simple phrase just to get a feeling for your voice and your range and all that stuff. Can you just sing ah?
Oh,
Okay, now here.
off key, off key.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just listening. No judgments. No judgments. I'm just listening. Ah.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, oh,
Awesome.
oh.
Let's listen to that one again.
Oh, oh, oh. And see, I'm starting to feel that
What are you starting to feel?
the break where I'm getting ready to start breaking. But go ahead.
Gotcha. And how do you feel about your breath right now? Do you feel like you're running out of breath?
A little bit, but it's not as bad as it gets sometimes. I mean, I'm okay for now, but I can do better at other times. But this is a part where, or this is I'm in the feeling of where I feel like I need to take a breath in between, in the middle of sentences and stuff.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I totally understand. Just give me a couple more.
Okay.
Ah, from there.
Oh,
Good. Last one.
oh.
Awesome job, Claudette. Everybody give it up for Claudette. That was awesome. So I'm hearing a couple of things, Claudette. The first is that, yeah, we do want to work on some of the breath control, some of the breath support stuff. The way that I want to work on it right now is kind of two ways. The first way is I want to make sure that we're taking that nice low diaphragmatic breath before each time that you sing. And the reason that I want that is because you already have a little bit of the respiratory volume issues. I want to make sure that before every line that you sing, you take the most efficient breath that you can. So rather than inhaling up here, more of a, chesty breath, instead we want to have that nice low diaphragmatic breath that looks a little bit more like, whoops, my camera's in the way. Like as I inhale, the stomach comes out. The stomach comes out as I inhale. And as I sing or as I exhale, the stomach comes back in. Can you just go ahead and just place your hands? We're not going to be able to see you, obviously, because your camera's on your face. But go ahead and just place your hands around the bottom of your stomach. like you're feeling a baby, like if you were pregnant or something like that. And then inhale. And as you inhale, make sure that that stomach comes out. Make sure it comes and kind of fills out your hands. And then as you exhale, breathe out, and that stomach will come back in. Can you go ahead and try that for me?
I'm sorry. The it shut off. Okay, my stomach, my hands are on my stomach, and then what did you want me to do?
And now what I want you to do is I want you to inhale, but I want you to inhale in a way that your stomach comes out and fills your hands. Your hands come out
Okay.
as you inhale. Go ahead and try that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Good, good, good. So inhale and let that stomach come out. And then as you exhale, the stomach will come back in. It'll look like this. Yeah. Go ahead and try that for me. Good, good, good. Now, if you can, Claudette, I want you to try this on a 2 count. What I mean by a 2 count is I want you to inhale 1, 2, then hold 1, 2, then out 1, 2. So it would look like this. So that's 1, 2, inhale, 1, 2, hold, then out 1, 2. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. Give that a shot for me, please.
Okay.
There you go. Do it again. Awesome. Great. Now take that low breath, that 2 count breath, that inhale, and sing. Ah.
Oh.
Good. Now inhale, 2 count breath. Ah.
Oh.
Check your pitch one more time.
Oh.
But you didn't take a breath before that one, Claudette.
Oh.
Make sure that the very last thing before you sing is you've got to take that low breath. So, ah.
Oh.
Good.
Oh. Oh.
Pitch again. Ah.
Oh.
Good. Now you're focusing so much on your breath that your pitch is
I'm
suffering
getting
a little bit, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Here's the biggest thing that I want you to get out of this lesson, Claudette. I'm going to remove you from the stream because it looks like you froze, but I'm just going to wrap up here. What I want you to really, really focus on there, Claudette, is that basically I want you to get into the habit that before every line that you sing, you take that nice deep breath. It can be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be a or a like a big inhale or anything like that. It can be very relaxed. I'll show you a real quick example that on a cobweb afternoon in a room full of emptiness by a freeway, I confess there's only one opportunity to take a breath in that first verse of that stanza. That's the song Like a Stone, as performed by Audioslave and Chris Cornell. By the way, Taylor Hawkins just died. I mean, what a giant. He was the drummer for the Foo Fighters. Absolutely crushing. What a great, great drummer. Anyway, we're losing a lot of these, I don't want to call them grunge guys, but 90s rock guys. It really sucks. But I want you to get into the habit, Claudette, of always taking that breath before you sing any phrase, no matter what it is, no matter whether you're going to be singing for 5 seconds, for 10 seconds, for only 1 second. I want you to get into the habit of always taking that breath and being ready to go. Guys, I am just so excited that you guys are here. I'm honored that everyone is here. Just as a quick reminder, today is the very first day that we've opened enrollment for Master Your Voice. We only open it a couple of times a year, and we'll be closing it down as soon as we get 50 students who enroll. You guys are finding out very first. I'm actually emailing my email list and my newsletter about it in 4 minutes. So if you want to get in, this is the time right now. I am so very excited about it because it's the only singing course that actually offers personal feedback from me with a proven set of exercises to help you improve your singing. Guys, that's going to do it for me today. I'm very excited. Oh, Peter, you just signed on. Let me work with you next week. Do me a favor, sign on same time next week. I'm going live next week. I'll send out a message whether it's at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. These 9 a.m.s are just a little too early, I think, to get the maximum engagement that we want here. But guys, I so appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you so much, and I'll see you